Hi, I'm Nat, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is going to cover the Pisces lunar eclipse that's happening on September 7th at 11:08 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm really excited to make this video today because we are officially in eclipse season. So September is going to highlight the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse that's happening during this month. And what this means is that we're going to have a lot of possibly uncomfortable energy that is affecting us at the moment. It may also seem chaotic and volatile, and there may be a little bit of uncertainty in the air right now as well. And I hope that with my video, I can provide some inspiration, some motivation, and some positive words to really reflect the importance and symbolism of this lunar eclipse. Because there truly is some positive outcomes and a lot of spiritual growth in this lunar eclipse. And I'm really excited to get into the energetic breakdown because this time is very much rooted in fate for all of us. And that's because it is eclipse season. So, to explain why this is a lunar eclipse, I'm going to go ahead and show the chart right now to show what's happening. So, what's going on is that there is a full moon in Pisces. But what makes this full moon a lunar eclipse is because we have the moon in the same sign as the north node. And in this case, it is conjunct the north node in Pisces. So this makes it very potent and very symbolic of a full moon that's moving us towards total evolution or the process of evolution of the energy of Pisces. And this is going to look different for all of us based on where Pisces is in our personal birth chart. For example, since I'm an Aquarius rising, I have Pisces in my second house of self esteem, self worth, and earned income. So, this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces is going to really highlight my second house of self esteem, self worth, and earned income. And what makes this really potent is that when there's a full moon, it means that the moon and the sun are opposite of each other. And that's what creates the full moon illumination. And what makes this time extra potent is that you can see, according to this chart, we have the north node in Pisces conjunct the moon, and the south node in Virgo conjunct the sun. So, this is really a time of fate. It's a time of destiny. It's a time of evolution for the Pisces energy and Virgo energy later on in September for all of us. And I really want to get into the positives of this Pisces lunar eclipse because if you are someone who is evolving spiritually and you're really tapped into spiritual growth or energetic growth and energetic work, this is a really special time. And if you're someone who has Pisces placements, this is also a very special time as well. um, and furthermore, Pisces and Virgo placements. So first off, I want to get into the energy of Pisces and what can be coming up in general for all of us, what we can be observing during this time. And the first thing I want to know is that Pisces is the last rule or the last zodiac sign, and it's also the natural ruler of the 12th house, which is the last house of the birth chart. So when you have this lunar eclipse, this full moon lunar eclipse happening in Pisces, which is symbolic of endings, letting go, releasing, and Pisces is the last zodiac sign and naturally occupies the 12th house, which is the last house of the birth chart. We're really going to get this type of energy that is symbolic of true endings. It's symbolic of a culmination, an end of a chapter, an end of a story, or an end of patterns that we have. So that is a little bit of energy that's being infused into this Pisces lunar eclipse, which is to expect some total endings. And what we also can expect right now in general, and what we can observe, is that Pisces rules over music. It rules over art. It rules over artistry and writing and poetry. So we may find that music and art and writing is going to be very helpful to us during this time. We may be feeling lost in music, lost in our art, lost in writing, in all of the best ways, in the ways that heal ourselves, in the ways that allow us to let go, allow us to tap into that very Pisces energy that we all have in our personal birth charts. And we also might find that musicians and artists and writers are releasing work right now. They may have been working on projects that are ready and have come to a culmination and are ready to be shared. So, new music can be coming out, new art can be released, new writing can be available to all of us right now. So, keep your eye out for a lot of artistic projects being released at the moment. And to go a little bit more into Pisces energy, since Pisces rules the 12th house, it is all about what's hidden. It's about our unconscious and unconscious patterns. And it's also about being really in tune with our inner voice. It's our intuition, it's our spirituality. So, whatever practices we have around tapping into our spirituality or tapping into our intuition, that energy is going to be really heightened right now. So, we may find ourselves lost in our own little world. We may find ourselves really getting deep with our spirituality, getting deep with our thoughts, and also having a lot of vivid dreams. Pisces rules the 12th house. The 12th house is the hidden, it's our unconscious. So, this also rules over sleep and our dreams. Our dreams may be prophetic right now, they may be giving us hidden messages. So, maybe pay a little bit more attention to what's coming up in your dreams during this moment and just see if anything is resonating, if there's any hidden messages or anything that's coming up that is calling your attention at the moment. So I love Pisces energy. I have a lot of placements in Pisces, and also since Pisces is in my second house, it really is an energy that I'm working to fully embody and to understand and to love. So talking about Pisces themes is really fun for me. So now I'm going to get into the aspects of this full moon lunar eclipse. And the first one I want to talk about is what I briefly talked about in the beginning of this video, and it is the full moon, the aspect of the opposition to the moon and the sun. So I want to just stress the importance of why fate is involved, why destiny is involved in this lunar phase. And as you can see, it's because we have the moon and north node conjunct in Pisces, and we have the sun and south node conjunct in Virgo. And Pisces and Virgo sit opposite of each other in all of our birth charts. So there's going to be this push and pull in the areas of life where Pisces and Virgo sit in our personal birth charts. And because this is a lunar eclipse in Pisces, the energy is going to teeter towards the Pisces, the area of life where Pisces is in your personal birth chart. And this is what's creating the uncertain, uncomfortable, and possibly chaotic energy at the time. It's because not only do we have this opposition, which is the full moon lunation from the sun and the moon, we have the nodes that are conjunct the sun and the moon. And that's what's adding a little bit of turbulence, uncertainty, and the symbolism of fate and destiny. So I wanted to mention that one once more, just to highlight the importance and what it looks like in the birth chart. And now I want to talk about my favorite aspect of this full moon. And it's the one that I'm really focusing on for myself and for my personal evolution with Pisces. And I think it's so interesting that we have this happening at the time. So, Pisces has two rulers. We have Jupiter and we have Neptune. Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces, and Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. So, when you're analyzing astrological transits or birth charts, you can, and most of us do, focus on each ruler of the zodiac. So, not all zodiac signs have two rulers, but there are a couple that do, and Pisces is one of them. So, I'm going to look at what Jupiter is doing during this time. And we have the full moon in Pisces at 15 degrees, trining Jupiter in Cancer at 19 degrees. And this is such a benefic aspect. Trines are flow, trines are ease. But when you have the moon and Jupiter involved, the moon is feminine, it's divine femininity, it's our emotions, it's our feelings, it's our instincts. And you have Jupiter involved, which is divine protection, divine spirituality, and trust. It's abundance, it is um, learning and growing. And you have it in Cancer. So there's this ultimate protection that's happening right now that involves the moon, Jupiter, Pisces, and Cancer. Pisces is all about spirituality, spiritual growth, our intuition, our dreams. And Cancer is about our roots, our family. It's about where we come from. And not only the family we come from, but our chosen family, who we choose to bring into our lives and who we choose to call family. And we have this connection here that is spiritual and protective. And I think that's the key words I would describe this as. It's spiritual and protective, and it's divine. And what this aspect is telling us right now is that we may have this uncertainty that we're dealing with at the moment, with things being pulled out of our lives. What's no longer serving us being pulled out of our lives. It may feel uncomfortable. It may feel like it was expected. It may even feel like the rug has been pulled out from under us. But what this is showing us right now is that there is so much trust that we need to have in what's leaving our lives at the moment. There's so much protection in what's leaving our lives. They often say that, rejection or what leaves your life is protecting you from something. So, since Jupiter and the moon are involved together in a harmonious aspect, we are being protected from what's leaving our lives. What's leaving our life truly does not serve us. And we're being protected from what that could have been if we kept it in our lives. So believe in what's leaving right now, believe in what you're releasing, and trust that there is going to be something very abundant on the other side, because Jupiter also rules abundance. And there's going to be spiritual growth and spiritual evolution when we trust that what's leaving our lives truly is not meant for us right now. And the funny thing about Jupiter, or before I get into this note about Jupiter, I'm going to touch on another aspect because it's going to tie into that. So we have the North Node in Pisces at 18 degrees, trine Jupiter in Cancer at 19 degrees. So this is this is really symbolizing the fate and protection and trust of what's happening in our lives during this time. And what I wanted to know about the, maybe not so much funny, but the special aspect of this energy right now is that Jupiter is abundant. It's about abundance. It's about our life philosophy and growing and expanding. And it's a benefic. It is a great benefic in astrology, which means it grants us good fortune. And when it's trying the North Node, we may be given something immediately when something is leaving our lives. Something leaves, something is given to us immediately that is going to benefit us. And it could be something like something leaves your life. And when something leaves your life, we are immediately given our time, our energy, and our freedom back. And because Jupiter and the North Node are trine each other during this time, it may be very easily or very easy for us to see that. It may be very easy for us to see that what left was not serving us, it wasn't working. And it may be easy for us to see that because that has left, we are immediately given the benefit of having our freedom back, our time, our energy, whatever it is, because we have more space now and we can expand now and we can grow now. So that is such a special aspect that's happening during this time. I think it's going to be easy for us to deal with uncertainty and deal with um, the uncomfortable energy of things leaving our lives. It's going to be very easy for us to see the bigger picture because Jupiter is involved. And because these two houses or these two signs, there's a trine with Pisces energy and Cancer energy. And the moon is in Pisces, the North Node is in Pisces, and Jupiter is in Cancer. There's this connection with union. And I want to note that that's probably more because we have the moon in Pisces, feminine, spirituality, feminine, divine feminine. We have that connected to Jupiter, which is trust, protection, growth, spirituality, abundance. There's a special union with the moon and Jupiter. And I think when you can see that union, you can see that it really symbolizes like people getting together, families getting together, the bridge of two people getting together to create a family, whether that's if you're dating someone, if you're marrying someone, or if you're just growing a family of your own based on who you're choosing to let in. There's something so spiritual and like special about the moon and Jupiter being in a harmonious aspect. And I think it's really going to highlight union of people, union of couples, and union of family. And since the North Node is involved, this union, if you find that you're a part of, you know, a growing, couples getting together or a growing family or choosing family, you may find that this is really for you. You're trusting it and you see the bigger picture of it and you see that this is truly a special moment in time. So that is the connection that I'm really leaning into for myself. I hope it offers a little bit of trust, or a lot of trust actually, because we're really being asked to trust right now. I hope it's offering trust and positivity and a bigger picture view of what's happening right now if you find that this time is turbulent and uncomfortable and chaotic. I hope that you can see that on the other side of this, there is a lot of spiritual growth, life growth, abundance, protection. And it's a really good time to lean into that that symbolism and that energy right now. So, the next couple aspects that I want to talk about are going to be a little bit tricky to explain. Um, and I'm going to do the best I can because I think it really is important to note during this time. And it's going to involve Neptune and Saturn. And first, I'm going to talk about Neptune because Neptune is another ruler of Pisces. So we just talked about Jupiter, which is the traditional ruler of Pisces. Now I'm going to talk about Neptune, which is the modern ruler of Pisces. So Neptune takes on a lot of Pisces energy, a lot of 12th house energy. And the one that I really want to note that can be reflective of Neptune is our dreams, our dream realm, our unconscious. It's how dreams aren't direct. They're not you don't you we have weird dreams, and I know that when I wake up after a weird dream, I'm trying to put the puzzle pieces together in a very poetic kind of way, a very artistic kind of way, um, and a very read between the lines kind of way. So Neptune can be pretty foggy. It also represents illusion, and it represents depth. It represents like the depth of our dreams and how they can be insane and not make sense, and how we can try to make sense of them. So we have Neptune in Aries at 1 degree, and it's retrograde. And it's been here for a while now. So this is this is important to note that it's retrograde, because when it's retrograde, the illusion clears, the fogginess clears. We're given a little bit more of a clearer sight to process our dreams, to process our unconscious, to process things that don't make sense. And they don't make sense because they're not direct and they're imaginative. So when we have Neptune in Aries, there is a physical aspect to our imagination, our dreams, our intuition, and to the fogginess and illusion that we have in our unconscious. And Aries is about our physical body, our identity, and our personality. So when we have Neptune retrograde, we're allowed to make sense of our dreams and our unconscious and our imagination, and really give it a physical aspect, kind of like pull it into our physical being. And I want to note that there's a true connection with the 12th and first house, and because it's ending and beginning, but it's also Pisces is 12th house, Aries is first house. So we have this energy of pulling what's in our 12th house, pulling the hidden, pulling what's coming from our dreams, and embodying it in our first physical body, embodying it in our identity, and embodying it in our personality. So the fact that Neptune is in Aries, Neptune, the modern ruler of Pisces, is in Aries, means that a lot of Pisces energy is going to be really processed and put into our physical identity, our personal of her personality, and even our physical body, what we dream about for ourselves, who we dream that we become, and how we get there. It's going to be very accessible for us to put our dreams and make or to make our dreams reality. I think the main point I want to make with the ruler of Pisces being in the first house right now is that there's a true connection with the 12th and the first house. There's a true connection with the ending, the natural energy of 12th house, which is ending, and with the Pisces lunar eclipse also symbolizing ending. There's the natural connection between that and beginning when we have the one of the rulers of Pisces in the first house. So think of this as like a bridge. This time is a time of bridging an ending to a beginning, bridging the 12th house to the first house. And now I am going to talk about Saturn moving its way back into Pisces. And this is going to kind of connect the energy of um, Neptune and Aries and the energy that is happening right now. And so Saturn was in Pisces from 2023 to 2025. And Saturn had moved into Aries around May 2025. And what it's doing is it has just retrograde, so it's moving backwards back into Pisces, and it's at 29 degrees in Pisces during this time. And Saturn's going to be in Pisces until around, I believe, February 14th of 2026. So what this means for us right now is that Saturn is going to revisit the area of life where Pisces sits in our personal birth chart. And Saturn was in Pisces from 2023 to 2025. And what Saturn does when it's in a zodiac sign or it sits in a house is it asks us to get very serious about that area of life. Get very serious about what we want. Get very serious about how we sustain what we want and the longevity of what we want. Because Saturn really is about longevity. It's about doing the necessary steps to achieve a long term goal. And not just to achieve the long term goal, but to obtain that goal, obtain that, whatever that is that you're reaching for, and have that for the rest of your life. Saturn is a very disciplined, very restricted, and rule based energy and planet. And when it was in Pisces for the last couple of years, I'm very familiar with this because this was my Saturn return. And when Saturn was in Pisces, it was asking us to get very disciplined with our spirituality. It was also asking us, where are we boundless? Because Pisces is a very boundless, deep, unlimited energy because it rules over the 12th house. And when Saturn was in Pisces in the past couple years, it was asking us, where are we boundless and where do we need to become boundaried? Where do we need better boundaries? And that's going to show up differently based on what area of life Pisces covers for you. And Pisces or Saturn being in Pisces is very much about creating our own spirituality and making our dreams reality and uncovering our unconscious and the unhidden. It was about really processing the past, processing the unseen, processing, you know, events and moments in our lives that we haven't been able to make sense of. And for the lack of a better word, processing trauma and how, and when Saturn is in Pisces, it's asking us to process the things that are hidden in order to evolve and to evolve spiritually, to spiritually grow and evolve. But Saturn in Pisces is kind of like a second lesson for us. It's going to allow us to, tie up all the loose ends. This is giving us an extra dose during this time of spirituality because Saturn in Pisces really is about being learning when to have boundaries and learning how to define and live and believe in what is spirituality for us. Because Saturn is retrograde and it just moved its way back into Pisces, we may be feeling old patterns, old areas of life, old experiences come up again. And it's not, it's it's a little similar to Mercury in retrograde, but not too much, because Saturn is about lessons. So it's going to bring up these old lessons, experiences, in order to say, do we still want this? Are we still going to do the same thing? Or are we evolved? Are we stronger now? Are we more disciplined now? Are we more mature now? And it's, it would say, I mean, it's kind of like a testing moment for us. Saturn is a tester because Saturn teaches us how to be disciplined and to have structure and to work for what we want. And it shows us that we have to restrict ourselves and give ourselves rules and be disciplined in order to get what we want. And it's not the case all the time, but Saturn really respects hard work and when we work on ourselves. And when Saturn's in Pisces, it truly is work on ourselves, work on our dreams, our unconscious, our imagination, our spirituality, and our intuition. So this time can be very focused on the self. It can be very focused on our unconscious. And it's going to be a revisit of the past couple years. And it's time to say, are we going to do the same thing again? Are we going to keep engaging in the same pattern? Or are we changed? Or are we changing? And are we working towards a more evolved version of ourselves? Significance during this time, and the significance is going to be while Saturn is in Pisces until February 2026. There's a big significance on pulling our unconscious, our dreams, our imagination, our spirituality, and refining it, making it strong, making it disciplined, making it truly what we want. Because we are called right now, and when Saturn moves back into Aries after February 2026, we will be called to use that unconscious and truly embody it physically. So that's it for the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. And just a reminder, eclipse season is taking over September. And this is a time that is suggested for rest and observation. It's suggested that we see and get familiar with the areas of life where Pisces and Virgo sit in our personal birth chart, and just to expect some changes that are happening in those areas of life for us right now. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time for the Virgo solar eclipse video. Okay, thank you and take care.